North Korea's ICBMs can already reach U.S. soil. It is committed to expanding its nuclear arsenal. Increasingly confident North Korean regime remains a source of concern regionally and globally. Its weapons of mass destruction, its conventional military capabilities, illicit cyber activities, and demonstrated willingness to use asymmetric capabilities poses a threat to U.S. and its allies, particularly South Korea and Japan.
And nowhere is that more worrying than when it comes to...
And that's why the Department of War and the Department of State...
And we shuttered a bombing campaign in Southern California.
The FBI Director, Kash Patel, General William Hartman, and the DIA Director, Lieutenant General...
Republican Party. People are not stupid.
I didn't even know I was against it.
That's good.
No fucking
You were in the zone. The intelligence community assessed that Iran overdose deaths have seen a 30% decrease from September. And in 2025, Kim took steps to improve ties with China. North Korea's support for Russia in the war against Ukraine has increased North Korea's capabilities as their forces have gained combat experience in 21st century warfare, along with equipment. North Korea's cyber program is sophisticated and agile. In 2025 alone, North Korea's cryptocurrency heist probably stole $2 billion, which the IC assesses is helping to fund the regime and include further development of its strategic weapons programs. Pyongyang continues to develop and expand its strategic weapons programs, including missiles that can evade U.S. and regional missile defenses. It is continuing to work to increase its nuclear warhead stockpile and maintains biological and chemical weapons capabilities. China and Russia are developing advanced delivery systems meant to be capable of penetrating or bypassing U.S. missile defenses. China, Russia, and North Korea see the United States as a strategic competitor and potential adversary.
When did the president request your presence at the raid?
The day of the raid, the warrant execution commencing.
The day of the raid?
Yes.
He called you on the phone?
I'm not going to disclose how the message was delivered.
Is it your role to
thank
oversee?
the FBI agents who were conducting
Is it
this
your
warrant.
role to oversee the execution of criminal warrants?
It is my role, based on statute that Congress has passed, to have oversight over election security, to include counterintelligence.
But you said you oversaw the raid, correct? You just testified you oversaw the raid?
Portions of it.
Okay. Did you handle any ballots or election-related materials?
No.
You were inside an FBI evidence truck, correct? You were photographed inside an FBI evidence truck.
It was an empty truck, yes. I did not participate in a law enforcement activity, nor would I, because that does not exist within my authorities.
Are the photos of you on the scene?
I was
and,
not
and
in
what
the
was the
warrant.
president's specific
And
request for you to go
thank you
to? What
to
was
the
the specific
FBI
request that
agents for
was
their
made by
work.
the president for you to show up in Fulton County?
To go and observe the FBI's activities on this issue.
Warrant supporting the raid was unsealed. It showed something deeply troubling. There was no foreign connection to justify the involvement of our nation's top spy. You have not provided any of the required reports or briefings to this committee on foreign interference. Are you saying there is no foreign threat to our elections in the midterms this year?
This year's annual threat assessment matches the prioritization of threats and
Please answer the
focus
question, yes or no. Is there foreign threat interference
that
to
the
our
president
elections this
has-
year?
The intelligence community has been and continues to remain focused on any collection and intelligence products that
ma'am,
show a potential foreign threat for those who are
So
seeking
far,
to
there has been none then, because you've made
in our
no
election
reports.
system.
There are reports that in 2020, the president was preparing an executive order to potentially seize ballots or bring in federal forces. There is a published report that there is a similar EO being drafted right now about 2026, citing China. Director Patel, do you have any knowledge of that draft EO?
I do not, sir.
Director Gabbard, do you have any?
I do not.
And bombers recently dropped dozens of...
To do something about it takes courage.
We have similar objectives, really, but
I'm going to go back and forth between the two of you.
There has been some
Your last paragraph on page 6, as a result of Operation Midnight Hammer, Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated. There's been no efforts to try to rebuild their enrichment capability. You omitted that paragraph from your oral opening. Was that because the president had said there was an imminent threat 2 weeks?
No, sir, I recognize that the time was running long, and I skipped through some of the portions.
So you chose to take
my oral delivered remarks.
You chose
sir.
to omit the parts that contradict the president. The president continues to say as well that he had no idea, was shocked that the Iranians had moved to take over the Strait of Hormuz.
I'm not aware of those remarks.
So why would the president say he was amazed?
I'm not aware of those remarks.
What about the comments the president made that thought that he was surprised again, reports that Iran struck the adjacent Gulf states?
Again, I'm not aware of those remarks. We have
well, let me ask you this. Did you brief the president? Did you brief the president? Did you brief the president?
I have not and won't divulge internal conversations.
You've stated today there had been no efforts since then to try to rebuild their enrichment capability. Was it the intelligence community's assessment that nevertheless, despite this obliteration, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
It is not the intelligence community's responsibility to determine what is and is not an imminent threat.
Okay.
That is up to the president
here's the problem.
based on a volume
no,
of information
it is precisely,
that he receives.
It is precisely your responsibility to determine what constitutes a threat to the United States. This is the worldwide threats hearing.
The same way I did when I saw it.
Yeah, that's good.
No fucking
You were in the zone.
handsome guy.